Alrighty guys, so how's she going today? So hopefully you can hear me okay without the wind and the 18-wheelers going off like a bunch of freaking sons of bitches. There's like 4 trucks here earlier today. They brought in this, that's their 3rd trailer now. They got 2 other ones sitting over there in this guy's yard. So who knows what the hell's going on over here. But gosh, she's muggy in here. Whew. Haven't been in here all day, so. But yeah, this is just going to be another ranting video. Oh, I'll be glad when it cools off in here. Holy fuck! But it's hot in the car though. It's cool in my car. Oh, it's actually not too bad in the car. So I could probably take the car out, I guess. Probably could do that, but I don't feel like it. So we're just gonna leave her in here for tonight, and I guess see what happens with it. But yeah, this is just gonna be a little bit rant about well, obviously there was that, what is it, the Florida shooting, and there's a couple of other ones too that are just getting to be stupid to even listen about, because, well, from what I heard, that the people that got shot or whatever, for I guess apparently no reason, they are suing the cops or whatever, which is, you know, a good thing really, because the way I see it, cops are getting out of control. You know, because if you think about it, these fucking cops they think they can do, you know, kind of, you know, whatever they want, which is, you know, that's just not the way it should be, because it's, you know, basically what's going on is that these cops are shooting people for no reason. And I think from what I've heard of this guy, you know, because there's just getting to be more and more shootings all the fucking time, that it's getting to the point that I don't even care anymore, because it's so stupid. But you know, apparently these people are just shooting you know, cops for no reason, or I mean, these cops are shooting people for no reason, and the people are not even threatening cops or anything, and some people, you know, some cops are just, you know, shooting people for no reason. Because it's kind of, it's funny how, well, I mean, from what I heard, that apparently this cop was telling this guy to get on the ground. Apparently he already was on the fucking ground. It's like, really? You know, it's, and some of these cops are not, you know, very nice. You know, I mean, some of them, you know, are, you know, are swearing basically, you know, which I didn't think they were kind of allowed to, but I suppose maybe it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, but it's just that, you know, the way I've been seeing things lately, these cops are not getting the training that they need to do their job safely and to do their job, you know, the proper way. It's just like, I'm going to shoot you regardless if I like you or not. That's just basically how it goes. You know, it's like, and then apparently too, this one guy, well, he wouldn't get on the ground or something. I can't remember exactly how it went, but he had his hand behind his back, obviously to make it look like he was going to grab a gun or something. I don't know if he actually had a gun or not. But anyways, they, the officer or whatever, you know, shot him multiple times in the chest, which was not necessary to do, regardless if someone's threatening, you know, especially if you're a cop and someone's threatening you. You know, have you ever thought about maybe shooting them in the foot, shooting them in the leg, shooting them in the arm? It's like, it's always about the, you know, the chest and the head. It's like, it never fucking ends. It's like, you should not even have a gun. because your way of training is totally different from what it was back in the day. Back in the day, you were told to, how to handle situations that were threatening or that were just, like an ordinary call. If someone called about loud music or something, you're supposed to handle it a certain way. You're just not supposed to go over there guns blazing, And that's kind of why I don't really have much. I don't have much respect for cops anymore. Especially even mine. Now I just live in a hick town where, of course, we don't get all these major problems like you do in a big city. But when I need an officer to show up, to my house, or something like that, or anything like that, I've had to call the cops a couple times for trespassers. I managed to get them to show up, twice out of the multiple times that I've called them. And the second time it was still a fail because he showed up. He said that he was going to put cameras on my property to see who was driving on my property, and that was like 2 months ago, and he never showed up yet to put cameras on my property. So it's basically like cops are getting lazy, and they're getting careless, and I don't think it's necessary to be sitting there shooting people for no fucking reason. To me, it all boils down to poor training. If you're not going to train them the correct way, don't even train them at all. Keep them, where they belong, sitting behind a desk. That's basically it. That's basically where they belong, because they just don't know. They don't, I've seen it on YouTube. Where this guy, he was circling this block, and apparently half of that one block was shut down because obviously the cops were there on a call. And I don't know what happened there, but I think maybe it was a checkpoint. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but the guy kept circling the block anyway. Well, eventually that guy ended up. One of the officers eventually, went and followed that vehicle, pulled them over, and of course, they started asking for your information and blah 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 and all this crap. So. But the thing is that the guy that got pulled over, he was asking questions. He was trying to, I think he was basically trying to find a breaking point in this cop, and he found it. The cop, when you're dealing with someone, you're supposed to handle it in a cool manner, regardless if the other person is screaming their head off, Well, what does this cop fucking do? He just all of a sudden blows up, takes his ticket book, and he has like his pen and his check or his ticket, whatever the fucking thing's called, the ticket book, and he threw it into the guy's lap, threw it at him basically. And of course, his wife or his girlfriend or whatever was videotaping it, which was a damn smart move to make, and. Of course, they caught it on video. If they got anything done about it, I don't know. So, it shows to me that these cops are not getting the training that they need in order to do their job properly. It's wrong. It's like either teach them the correct way of doing their job, or don't even teach them at all. Put them behind a desk punching buttons on a keyboard. Like, I understand that apparently this job's supposed to be, frustrating or whatever. Well, if you can't handle the frustration of it, then don't do it. It's basically like if you work at an office and you hate that fucking job and you're under stress a lot and you're frustrated at it, don't work there anymore. If you're in an environment that's not healthy for you in any way, don't be in it then. That's kind of the same thing as what cops need to do. If you can't handle the heat and whatever these people are throwing at you, then you shouldn't be in law enforcement. Then you shouldn't be even having that kind of a job, because you are supposed to be trained how to defend yourself and how to keep people alive and know how to handle situations, you know, and they're just simply not getting it anymore. All I see is if you make a move, I'm gonna fucking shoot you. You know, there's no reason for shooting them just because they're going, you know, they're reaching for their ID. You know, I mean, some people, like, when, you know, like most of the men of any age, you know, they usually carry their wallet in their back pocket, because in their front pocket they probably have other things, you know, keys, you know, or something like that, or they just like it being in the back better than in the side pockets or in the front pockets, whatever the hell it is. You know, I mean, the officer says, get your ID out. Well, you're a man, you should know where a man sticks his fucking ID at. You know, it's only common sense. I mean, that guy's naturally going to go, you know, do this, you know, or this to pull out his ID. They don't stick their ID up in here. They don't stick it in the glove box. You know, they don't stick it in the side of the door or whatever. You know, they keep it on themselves. The only thing that belongs in your car is your insurance and your pink slips and stuff like that, you know, to make your car legal for the roads. And of course the books that come with your car, you know, if you have a breakdown, you know how to fix it. You know, those kind of things. Your ID and shit like that belongs on your person. You know, I mean, if your name is John Doe, well, then your ID stays with you. Your car's name's not John Doe, you know. You don't keep it with you. It's just stupid. But from what I heard, that one cop saw it as a threat and just started open firing for no fucking reason. It's like, are you that fucking... I mean, like, I understand that, you know, guns are out there in this world, but you have a gun too. So you shouldn't be as scared as, you know, as what a bad person would be. You should be trained, you know, you should be spotted. You should be able to sense when there's going to be danger, you know. Like, if that guy's pulling out a gun and he starts making that move, you know, towards you, you know, then that's when you start shooting back. But you just, I mean, the cop's standing over you. He sees this whole general area, you know. I mean, what do you have to start shooting for? The guy hasn't even gotten his fucking ID out yet. You know, I mean, that's just... It's just, I don't even know what else to say, because it's really... It's getting to... I mean, I understand why black people hate cops. I understand that, because, you know, they're dirty. There may be a few good ones, but you hardly ever see them out on the roads. You know, they're basically all stuck behind fucking desks, because the government fucking knows. The government's a bunch of bullshit too. I fucking hate them as well. So it's just, you know, it boils down to poor training. That's the bottom line of, you know, my story, is that poor training, you know. I mean, even I'm afraid now, you know, I mean, to, you know, drive or go anywhere, leave my own home, because, you know, if we should get pulled over, even if I'm just, you know, a passenger in my car, or, you know, say in my grandma's car or my sister's car, or, you know, or whatever, you know, I'm just not going to feel safe. So, because you don't know if that cop's just going to all of a sudden start shooting you because, you know, this and that. And everyone blames it on, I think if I can remember this correctly now, someone, well, it's mostly black people, they blame it, you know, it's a racist thing, you know, that white cops shoot black people. Well, it may be a part of the problem. You know, most of the problem, it kind of just boils down to, you know, poor training for one thing, but they're doing it more now, you know, to white people too, because the cops have this kind of an attitude now where they think, since they have a gun, they have the badge, they're unstoppable, you know, and their own kind of people, their own, you know, brothers in arm, whatever the fuck they call each other, I just call them fucking donut huggers, you know, they just basically they'll stick up for each other. You know, that's why I highly recommend, you know, to anyone. I don't care if you're a black person. I don't care if you're a white person. I don't care if you're fucking Chinese. I don't care if you're Mexican. I don't care if you're young or old. If you drive a vehicle, any kind of a car, even if it's a piece of shit beater or it's a fucking Ferrari, put cameras in your cars. You know, get a GoPro, which is what I'm using here now. GoPros are most likely, they're not the smallest cameras in the world, but they have the best quality. The audio's, on mine, my audio's pretty good, but some have been, as long as you don't have it in a case, they're usually pretty good. Or if you do have it in a case, make sure you have the door on that has the holes in it so you let the audio through. So then, you know, obviously you can get good audio. So basically what my plans were for, because I don't know if I'm going to get this thing fixed up or not. This is still a decently good car. It just needs a new engine. I'm really thinking about getting either a couple of GoPros, either GoPro 4s or whatever. This GoPro here, this is a Hero 3, and I've had it for a few years now, and it's starting to, you know, get a little bit iffy now, so it won't start on its own. It needs to be boost jumped, you know, it needs to be plugged in and to actually get a charge. It needs to be plugged in basically to even get it to start. There seems to be like a delay in the screen now too, so I don't know. And then sometimes if I make multiple shots, like if I make a 5-minute video and then I shut the camera off, or I just hit the don't record button anymore, wait 5 minutes and then go back and record something else, the second or third or even possibly even the fourth clip will come out in a rainbow colored effect. You know, the video's shit. So basically, I think my GoPro's about done. I've had it for a while, got it for free, but they're still expensive cameras, and I really should have expected this to last for quite a few years, but I didn't get that. So I don't know if GoPros, you know, it's kind of up to you. I mean, if you're willing to, you know, replace your GoPros every once in a while, I do recommend replacing them every couple of years, just to be on the safe side, because you don't know how they're gonna. I mean, obviously, like mine is turning into junk, so. And I've never dropped it, and if I did drop it, it's been in its case, and it's supposed to take up to a certain amount of distance drop. It's supposed to take it fine. So. But yeah, I plan on putting cameras all over this car. I'm gonna probably put one right where you guys are sitting right now, but it'll be in a case. Or I might even, you can also get the just the framing of it or whatever. It just hugs the outside of the camera, so the whole camera's still exposed. So I'd probably put one there, and then I'd probably put one up behind the mirror here, facing forward, and then I'm even thinking about putting one out the back window. You know, it may sound, you know, ridiculous or something stupid, but you know what? It's what you have to do to cover your ass in any kind of a situation, regardless if it's a car accident or a fatal shooting. You know, you have records of it to, you know, show to the court that, well, this officer did this and it's not right. You know, I basically don't even want to leave my own house anymore without a camera. But I kind of remember too that, hey, that my cell phone has a camera on it, so, and I have used my cell phone quite a few times to make, obviously, like YouTube videos, because it's just quicker and handier to do so. Quality's not quite as nice, but it's good enough. I think you could probably make out a license plate if you wanted to. So, but you know, I still plan on getting my gun license. You know, and this is another thing too. Since it brought me up on this gun license, the guy that was in a car that got shot, he told the officer that, hey, I'm just letting you know that I have a gun in my car. It's legal. I have a license for it and everything. What does the cop do? He blows the guy away. Now, didn't you just tell us not too long ago, they're cop boys, to say what's in our car, so then you can, you know what to expect then. You know what's in this car if they ever should have to search it. Now, searching is up to you if you allow that or not. If you've done nothing wrong, you shouldn't let them, but, that's up to you guys. That's not up to me. To me, I wouldn't let them do it. They want to get in this car, they're going to have to get a search warrant for it, so, But, I mean, what if I get a gun license, okay, and I have a gun? It's all legal, right? It's all 100% illegal. And I tell the officer that. Is he going to go blow my brains out because I told him that I have a gun and it's all legal? I mean, is that what they want? It's like they're kind of showing that, hey, guns are bad. It's all government shit, I think. I mean, the government's all rotten anyway. Whoever likes the fucking government should maybe, I don't know, just get the hell out of this country then, because that's fucking bullshit. The government has never done anything good for us. They always they take your land and they charge you a fortune for it. My taxes on my land went down a little bit, obviously because I don't own a lot, and I obviously don't have $1 million house sitting on my lot either. It's not a good high-tech house, so I just dropped it a little bit. Unless they just drop it for the hell of it, I don't fucking know, but I think the value on my property went down a little bit too, so. And obviously, if you look at the shop here, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It could use a nicer one, but it wasn't really intended to be used as a shop. It was just meant for a storage, so that's why it was such a piss poor design, but I make it work. It's somewhat a shop now. It's got a little power, but I'm just pulling that through an extension cord. But hey, it's good enough for me. Can't run a welder on it, but fuck it. I don't do a lot of welding anyway, so. But yeah, it's really, to the point where I think that they're trying to get us regular people away from guns. Because, there was a debate thing going on, too, about that, that, guns should be banned and all this shit, and, I mean, guns are not the problem, If you put the guns in the right hands of people, then it's all good. But if you give them the rotten people, terrorists or, thugs or whatever, or gang members, clearly that's an issue then. But I mean, you're never going to be able to stop guns anyway. Even if you did ban them, the bad are still going to get their hands on them. And taking guns away from us is not going to help the situation any better. It's just going to make it even worse. So it does no good to mess with gun rights and shit like that. Leave that crap alone. It's just so stupid. Guns have never been the issue. It's always been the people that own the guns that have been the issues. It's always the rotten people. How do you think the rotten people get a hold of their guns? They get a hold of them illegally. Whereas an ordinary citizen like me, we go through the steps to get these guns legal. So if we should ever get pulled over for even something stupid like as speeding or a broken taillight, and the cop wants to know if we have a gun, we can say yeah, and it's legal. They'll just want to see your ID on that, and well, they're supposed to be seeing your ID on that, not just blowing your brains out. But I guess that's the new way of the law system, I guess. It's just stupid. It's going to get to the point where, people are trying to fight back. That's fine. That's a great idea. But apparently the government is really trying to really push back because, obviously, I think they're the ones that are making all these fucking crimes. I think they're literally paying these thugs, or these gang members, whatever, even these Iraqi, or these terrorists, I should say. Sometimes I think that they're actually paying them money, or paying, them, or, if it's terrorist or whatever, maybe they're paying them money. Giving it to their families, saying, hey, if you come over here and do this, we'll pay you a couple $1,000,000 and, your family will be rich. It's just, because the government's always up to new tricks. They always want to find new ways of, doing this and doing that, and they want to see how far they can push the limits, and stuff. I mean, it's just basically going to get to the point where, they're there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do anymore besides get the hell out of this country, because it's not a free country anymore. I got a feeling by the time I'm older, you know, let's say 35, which would be another 10 years away, you know, I mean, our cops going to be even worse. You know, I mean, are we not going to have any laws at all? Are we going to be able to mow our lawn? You know, I mean, are we going to have to pay the government, you know, just to maintain our yards? It's just a little bit ridiculous that, you know, the government needs to fuck off and quit trying to control people. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You know, the cops, basically the cops, you know, and are here to protect and serve. You ain't protecting much, and you ain't serving much. All you're serving is fucking just, you know, lead. You're just pumping lead through everyone's bodies and not giving a shit about anyone's, you know, privacy or rights, or, you know, or their own concerns. You know, I mean, I'd be afraid, you know, let's say if I had a girlfriend or I had a wife, whatever, I would probably feel a little bit uncomfortable letting her go out to the cities or anywhere by herself, because you don't know. The cops may just shoot her for no reason. That's the way it seems like it's going, because there's all these fucking shootings going on, and from what I hear, these people ain't even doing nothing wrong. You know, and if there is someone standing there, you know, like that one cop, you know, like that one shooting, there was a guy that was standing, whatever, he wouldn't get on the ground, whatever, and he had his hand behind his back. Well, obviously, naturally, cops are going to take that as a threat, obviously, but you shouldn't shoot unless you see a gun, you know, being brought up to you, you know, and if you got that gut feeling, like most cops nowadays don't even have this gut feeling anymore, but if you have that gut feeling that something's going to go wrong, you know, or if you happen to see the butt of the gun or something, you know, or whatever, why don't you just shoot him in the leg? Shoot him in the foot. Shoot him in the shoulder. Do something where, I mean, you take the suspect down, but he still lives. I mean, yeah, we don't want bad people in this world anyway. We'd rather just see him dead anyway. Well, I would. But, you know, cops really kind of don't give him a chance, you know. The only ones that deserve to be dead are the ones that are known, you know, that have been known for killing people or cops or whatever, you know. It's just kind of, you know, I mean, because if you think about it too, those people that you are killing are someone's, you know, family members, you know. That guy that shot, well, that could have been someone's son. That could have been someone's dad. You know, I mean, you're taking people away, you know, for basically, I think, no reason. It's just, you know. But, I mean, if they want to, I mean, if you think about it, if cops keep acting the way that they're acting, you know, they're not going to get a lot of respect. And that's kind of what's been going on. Cops get very little respect. And it kind of pissed me off when Donald Trump was talking about that he wanted to make it a law that cops deserve more respect. Well, I disagreed on that, but I still agree on everything else. So the guy still got my vote, but it's, you know, cops are supposed to have, apparently, supposed to have less rights than us. But since cops get very little training, apparently, they think that they have, you know, they're the kings, you know. You're supposed to serve and protect, not just kill. You ain't serving much and you ain't protecting much. The only thing that you're fucking doing is just pissing off people, getting in our way, and for my cops, not doing your job. Other cops probably do their job, but around here my cops don't do their jobs. You know, we call them and they don't show up, you know. I mean, it gets kind of to the point where, you know, even for my own cops, I literally may have to take these fucking cops to court soon because they're not doing their job. I mean, yeah, it's just over, you know, trespassers, but that's the point of the cops, you know, that they're there to handle situations that we can't handle, you know. And they even say, don't take matters into your own hands. Okay. Well, I'm willing to, you know, let the cops handle my situation, but they're not doing their job. So basically means I have to do it myself. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm going to go, you know, kill whoever trespasses on my field, but I'm not going to sit there and be nice about it either. I will swear. I will call you names. You know, I will call you out like the little bitch that you are. You know, and I will be armed. I mean, I'm going to have a gun regardless because I plan on getting my gun license. So, you know, it's just would I like the cops to handle, you know, these problems? Sure, because then it's just less bullshit that I have to deal with. But apparently, the cops, at least here anyway, where I live, my cops don't do anything. Maybe your cops show up the instant that you call. But my cops are always seem to be 2 or 3 counties down, and I'm like, so it's going to take you an hour to get here? Ends up being 3 hours. You know, it's just, why do you not have cops, at least one cop in every county? You know, at least one that can get here. I mean, what if there was a burglary going on, you know, and I'm calling the cops saying, hey, I got a burglar, you know, breaking into my house. You send the cop over here. You mean I have to wait an hour for a cop to show up? I mean, he's stealing all my shit, you know, and he broke my window, broke my door, whatever, however the hell he got in, you know, and he may put a hurting on us. That's not right. You know, I mean, yeah, I would rather, you know, let the cops deal with it because they know how to handle it the proper way. But I mean, if you break into my house, and I'm not going to wait for a cop to show up because if I have a gun, I'm just going to blow your ass away. You know, that's the point of guns. That was, you know, they're basically, you know, for self-defense, home defense, whatever, property defense even. You know, it's just, you know, it's like either do your job or just don't do your job. Just don't be an officer at all. You know, I'm getting very, you know, I'm getting kind of fed up with cops. They're useless. The way I see it, they're useless everywhere. And I seen a video on Facebook of a cop. He was making a speech about something, and someone had asked him if he had regretted, well, I guess whatever the hell he said, whatever he said, I guess it wasn't, people didn't like what he said. And he said that he does not regret saying, this was actually in Florida, so it must have been that Florida shooting or whatever. And he said that, no, I don't regret what I said, and if you seem like a threat to us, or if you do something threatening to us or whatever, we're going to shoot you. Well, that just pissed me off because, you know, basically meaning if I stand outside my door and I happen to be touching my front gate, are you going to take that as a threat and just shoot me? I mean, it's like they're going to look at these littlest things and make it a threat. Just so they can shoot you. Well, that's a government thing right there. Because the government's been out for us, to get us ever since day one. You know, it's just bullshit. So, I don't know. It's just, I mean, what he said, you know, it pissed me off. And some asshole said, well, this is the way it should be. You know, whoever left that fucking post and said that, you actually agree with him blowing people away for apparently no reason? So if I'm sitting in my workshop, let's say I'm turning some wrenches and a cop, you know, comes into my shop, you know, wanted to ask me questions, you know, are you going to take my wrench as a threat and you're going to shoot me before I even have the chance to put it in my toolbox? or to lay it on the ground, I mean, you're not giving anyone much of a chance. You know, it's just like instantly I'm going to just, I see something in your hands, and I'm going to shoot you. And I don't care if you survive or not. That's the kind of attitude that they're getting. Well, that's the kind of attitude I think we ought to have back to them then. Let them see how it fucking feels. You know, because it's bullshit. You know, it's just like, you're trained to serve and protect, not to kill the innocent, you know, or to kill someone that's not even being a threat, but yet apparently you take it as a threat, just because he's sitting underneath his truck turning a wrench. You know, I mean, did you think about it? That maybe that guy that's turning that wrench that you're talking to right now is maybe the very guy that works on your vehicle when you're not on duty? Your ordinary drive to work vehicle? It's like, so and yet you've known this guy for years, but yet you're willing to blow him away just because he's got a wrench in his fucking hand, and it's because you got the gun and the badge. You think that you can just do whatever the hell you feel like. Well, I disagree with that. You can disagree with me if you want, whatever. You know, I don't see it necessary to have to kill them just because they're not doing what you tell them to do. Tase them at least. What happened to the fucking taser? It's just like, it's all fucking lead. You know, I mean, back when I was a younger guy, and I can't remember, maybe it was on an episode of Cops, I don't know. Maybe when I started watching Cops or something. Well, it was basically back then when even when the tasers first come out, actually, and the cops tried these, you know, for a number of years, and they said that this was way more effective and it was a lot safer than it was to use a gun. Well, apparently now that's not even the case anymore. Guns are better than tasers. Everyone's so fucking lazy to pull out their taser, even though it's on the same side as probably their gun is. It's just that they're, you know, they're just getting lazy. And what happened to pepper spray? They used to have pepper spray too, but then I think, like I said, I think they replaced it with the taser. Or maybe they carry both now. I don't fucking know. I don't keep myself up to date with the cop bullshit because I could care less. Stay the hell out of my way, and I won't have a problem with you then. But apparently, I think I got a pretty big problem with them now because, well, I've always had a problem with mine because they're garbage. You know, I mean, if I was a cop and someone asked for some help, you know, even if it was just something minor, I'm going to be there, you know, and I'm not going to just blow your brains away because I don't like you, or because you're black or white. You know, I'm getting paid to protect you, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're paying those fucking scumbags, you know, so they work for us. That's the way I see it, and that's the way everyone else sees it. But a lot of people don't see it that way either. Well, how do you think they make their paycheck? That's why your taxes are so damn high. Because it goes to them, and then it also goes to, you know, like road construction and all that shit too, which is fine. I don't have a problem paying for road construction, but I think I got kind of a problem paying for cops, because, especially mine anyway. Maybe it's not the same case for your guys' cops, but it is for mine. I don't really want to pay that amount of taxes so the cops can get a paycheck. It's just garbage because they don't deserve my money. They don't do what I ask them to do. And the last time that we called the cops, he showed up. Took him about an hour, but he showed up. And I took him out in the field. I showed him where all the trespassers were, you know, where they were driving. They ran over some of our hay, which is our crop. Now at the time the grass was, well, it was still tall, but back then it was enough that it could perk itself back up. You know, it wasn't going to die or anything from it. But now it's to the point now where if you run it over, it's going to most likely stay over. It's not going to really come back because now the grass is not going to grow anymore. It's done for the year. It's been raining here so much that we can't even cut the hay, you know, and put it in the windrows and then bale it. So we just practically just have to leave it as it is for right now. They're finally talking maybe a week of no rain, so maybe someone will show up, you know, and start cutting hay. So, if I would have had my own machine, I probably would have started cutting. I just would have cut the fucking shit in the rain. What the fucking hell with it, you know, because you're never gonna get it bailed in. You're not gonna cut it. You're not gonna get it bailed anyway. Put it on the but leave it in the windrow and just TED the shit then when you get the chance to. So, and you'll bail it, I guess. That's basically all you can do. So, but anyways, this video is not about farming. I'll make a separate video on that for any farmer people out there. But this is just you know, a rant on the cops. I think cops are just, the bottom line is that they're getting out of control, and they're not trained properly. At least from what I'm seeing, they're not trained very well at all. All I see is BS and garbage. You know, it's. But there's not much I can do about it. You know, I mean, we try to do what we can. We videotape them. Some states apparently that's illegal. Well, so what? Did you know that when you pull over a vehicle, like let's just use me as an example. I'm driving along, right? Did you know that my car is private property, regardless if it's on a fucking public road? So if you don't want to be on camera or any of that kind of bullshit, then don't pull me over. I'll even when I get this car fixed, I'm going to be putting a bumper sticker on the back, and I'm going to probably get like a little one made for the side of the window or something, saying that this car is under surveillance. So then the cops will know that, you know, that they're being videotaped. And audio and video are the best things. I mean, I think back then they were okay with just video, not so much the audio. But now I think they like it more now where there's audio now too. Well, because most cameras that videotape have audio. You know, it's just kind of the way it is now. So, except back in the 20s when cameras first started coming out, they just had just a video. There was no sound. So, but back then cops weren't scumbags like they are nowadays, so you didn't have to videotape the cops that often. But I heard that over here in North Dakota, don't know if it, well, from what I heard, it's going into effect, or it's been in effect already. That North Dakota, police now have to carry a shoulder cam with audio, so video and audio, so when they pull someone over, or, you know, for any reason at all, they see it from the officer's point of view. Just not mine, they would see it from his point. So, but, you know, that's just the way it is. And some cops have made mistakes and they forget that they have an audio camera on them. I remember watching a video of this cop pulled over this guy. Well, this guy was already sitting on the side of the road. He was doing something in the back seat, moving some shit around. I don't fucking know. And the cops pulled him over. And the cops were feeding him bullshit story. Well, you could see it from this guy's point of view. And then that guy eventually got an order, or got permission, or however that works, to see audio tape from the cops' point of view, because they had the shoulder cam and they also had the dash cams too. So to help his case, he said that I want to see it from their point of view as well. Boy, did they ever catch it there, because that cop, well, the way he was saying things, and at the end of the video, like, well, you can see him the cop driving away, they were still playing his audio tape, and, you know, you can see, I think they had the dash cam going too. And then all of a sudden the guy's like, oh shit, I'm still recording. Oops! You were just caught red-handed, weren't you, you scumbag? So, you know, I mean, cops are, some cops are just plain ass stupid, and some cops are just plain ass mean. Hopefully you can find the stupid, hopefully if you get pulled over, you get pulled over by a stupid one. You know, because they're going to probably forget that they're being audio recorded, and, you know. So, well, that's just the way it's going to be in my car. You know, I'm going to audio and videotape you, you know. So, and I kind of wish that, oops, I turned my headlights on. Battery still works then. It's going to get to the point where if I don't see what I think I deserve to see from law enforcement, I will be posting, you know, not their personal information, but their badge number, and, well, probably their name, but it'll be, you know, it won't be exactly, you know, their home address. It'll just be the basic information. I will leak that shit out on YouTube. because I have the right to. If I don't think I'm being treated fair, then I'm gonna make you look bad. You know, my mom thinks that if I did that, that the cops would demand me to take that video down. Well, there's been millions and millions of videos of cops being uploaded. They give out their name, you know, and their badge number, and those videos have been up for years. But these cops here are stupid too, so you never know what will come out of their mouth. But I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna leave it because it's my right. I ain't being treated fair, and I think the world deserves to see it. You know, that's why I think, you know, people, if they get pulled over illegally or whatever the case may be, you know, videotape it. It doesn't mean that you have to put it up on the internet unless it's something bad. You know, like if you're being harassed or, you know, being accused of something that you didn't do. That kind of stuff should be uploaded. But if you've been pulled over, something that you knew was wrong, like a broken taillight or, you know, or speeding, you know, those are kind of just like, you know, normal things that happen on a daily basis. You know, sometimes your taillights go out and you don't know about it until you're halfway to work or at home. So those kind of things I don't think you need to upload. You know, you can keep them to yourself or just delete them, whatever the hell you want to do with them. It's up to you. But, you know, unless that cop starts getting more, you know, like, I don't know how to put it. Well, if he starts harassing you more or something, or if they start asking for information that's none of their business, that's when you start recording and you start putting that stuff up on YouTube or, you know, or Facebook or whatever. You know, it's just, it ain't necessary. You know, so it's not necessary to upload everything, you know, unless you're a vlogger, you know, then maybe you could, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's however you want to play the game on your account, so it's just however you want to do it. But I think that, you know, cops should just you know, should just mind their business, you know. Do what you were meant to do, and that was to serve and protect, not just blow people away. You know. But at some point, if I don't see, you know, fair justice or, you know, anything done about it on my property, I will just start leaking their information out on YouTube. You know, I just won't leak it out where they live. You know, that's a little bit too personal. You know. So, but what their names are and what their badge number is, and you know what they do if they're the sheriff or a deputy, whatever. You know. Oh, and I can also remember a story too. This was back a couple years ago. I had caught two guys on Rangers trespassing on our property, and of course he was, you know, yelling at me. I got it all on audio tape. It's all on video. It's all up on YouTube. It's just on a separate video. And if you guys want to see that video, let me know, and I'll put the link in the description, or I'll just give it to you guys through the reapply. But I had showed the cops that. Now that was some evidence, obviously. I mean, he says that he would have liked it more if I would have actually gotten in their face, but I didn't do that. So, but he says that the audio tape was pretty good, and they used it, obviously, and he actually liked how I handled the problem. Because they were being complete assholes to me. They were being rude, they were calling me names, you name it. While I'm sitting over here being Mr. Cool Guy. You know, I wasn't blowing up at them. I was just, you know, telling them what I knew. And all this crap. You know, I wasn't swearing at them. I was basically, you know, being a nice guy, which is what I like to try to be to people. I like to be nice to them. But if they're going to be disrespectful, then I'm not going to dish out niceness to you then. Screw you. You got to put your head in my fucking oven, you know? It's just like, fuck you then. So the cop liked it, and they did, you know, fine the people, which they should have been charged, but whatever. I guess I just gave him a fine. Did I get any of that money? No, which is fine. I don't care, but I think, you know, the money should have went to us because, you know, it's our property. But I don't care. I don't care. It's not my problem. So, but anyways, I had where I was the deputy was actually trying to get a grid map of our property to find out where our property exactly went, and he was able to pull it up on their system. He says it wasn't. He said apparently it wasn't accurate. This was from many years ago, so we don't even have an accurate grid map of our property. We can go to the courthouse and get that, but they charge you an arm and a leg for it, so we don't bother. But the cop says, well, we're just going to go off of this because this is all we can get. So, and apparently, our property actually went right into the river. I mean, we don't own like a big chunk of the river, but a little bit of it, because over the years, the river has eaten away at the bank, eating away at our property. So naturally, we've lost a little bit of property, meaning we've gained a little bit of water. So apparently, I guess we own a little bit of the river too. So probably like this much of it. But every year it's getting bigger. So, but anyways, I was telling the cop stuff, and well, I said some things that probably pissed him off, because he started being a smart ass. Well, right there, that showed me that you're not a cop. You're just scum. Because you're supposed to take it as Mr. Cool Guy, regardless of how the other guy's doing. Like if I'm being an asshole to you, you should be a nice guy back to me. That's showing, respect, and that you do understand, that you're willing to help. But by blowing up on, through, to me, that just shows low respect. Meaning, now, with my respect for those cops were up there, it dropped quite a bit. It really went down. I'm very disappointed in my law enforcement. I understand that they're far away, but they're not supposed to be that far away. They live right there where my bank's at. The sheriff's office is right there in the courthouse, literally right down the fucking stairs. I think you go down the stairs and you make a left, and it's right there. As far as I can remember, either or it's upstairs. I'm pretty sure it was downstairs. Whatever the fuck it is, no one cares. But it's just, it shows that you have no respect. And now they won't hardly even show up. When we were having these truckers issues, these truckers running over my property, I was obviously talking to the owners of the company, telling them that, hey, I don't appreciate your trucks running over my yard. They didn't seem to really care too much. So then I just told them that, maybe you should just move the fucking company somewhere else. If you're not going to solve the issues, move it somewhere else. And plus, they were being annoying anyway. They were so fucking loud. Truckers were not even listening to the rules. And apparently the rules have changed, but that's a bunch of horse shit. So I called the cops. I asked them if they could help out. It's like, I've been talking to the owners of this company for years. So this company's been here for years. Ever since I fucking moved here to this house. A year later, they moved in. And I was like, well, can you help me out with this situation? Sometimes they'll show up and sometimes they won't. And if they do show up, it takes them an hour and the trucks have already left. Because the trucks are blocking public roads, and they're not supposed to be doing that unless they had some kind of a breakdown. But they weren't breaking down, they were unloading and loading their loads. Blocking the fucking public road. So, but whatever. But for them running over my property, the owners of the company, their first attempt failed. But their second attempt here now actually stops now, because they've actually put a sign up now. They bolted it to the stop sign saying no trucks, and they've listened ever since. So can't super complain about them a lot, but I still don't like the fact that they try to come in after hours and that they block public roads. But they reopened their thing there now again, so they're letting the trucks park more onto the side. So, but what are you gonna do? And the other thing too is that the trucks always, the trucks always tear up our roads, and they hardly ever grade them. So they've been grading them so much this year, but last year they weren't even hardly grading them at all. And now they laid down like 6 inches of fucking fresh gravel. So now it's like skating on fucking ice. But as the trucks drive on it, they'll push it back down in. So they've actually have done that quite a bit now, and it's actually not that slippery now. I mean, loose rock is very slippery, especially on a four-wheeler. You know, I think I've even driven my grandma's car a couple times across, or even the pickup too. I've driven that across it a few times, and you literally feel like you want to slide off this damn road. It's just ridiculous. But it's improving now because the trucks are running over so much. So, you know, and it actually was quiet here for about a month. There wasn't any trucks going to that company for about a month. Their parking lot was just empty. So business must have slowed down for them for, I don't know, I guess the summer or something. I don't really know what the hell's going on, or they're just not getting the orders that they need, I guess. I don't know. But there has been a few trucks that came in today, and I think yesterday one came in, so they'll probably start back up. To be honest with you, I hope that company goes out of business, because this town's not meant for 18-wheelers. It's only a country town. It's not a city. And I don't know what they're doing with the neighbor's property here behind me, but they got all their trailers sitting there. I don't know if you guys seen that or not earlier in the video. There's at least probably 3 trailers sitting there. And parked in this guy's yard, and they're even mowing his yard too a little bit. So I don't know if they bought that property or not. I don't know. I didn't see a for sale sign on it, so unless it was like a closed, you know, behind closed doors kind of sell, but I mean, they better not buy that property and then tear all the trees out and the buildings and the house and turn it into another shit show like they got going on over here. Because they're literally trying to drive me out. You know. Like, I don't want to have to sue, but I mean, if it gets to that point, I might have to, because this is ridiculous. I'm supposed to live in a peaceful town, not in a damn city. If I want to listen to all the fucking racket, I'll move to the cities then. But I'm just a country guy, meaning I want my fucking peace and quiet. Not listening to fucking trucks every damn hour, you know, come into town every hour. It's so stupid. It's such fucking BS. I wish they would just these people here never would have moved into town, because it's ridiculous. You know, they're nothing but fucking trouble anyway. Kids are rotten. All the kids are rotten, dude. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Besides just hate them, I guess. It's basically all you could do. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to probably take off. I do apologize for the super long-ass, hour-long video. But, it's, you know... Oh, this didn't pop with the mile thing. Huh. So, yeah, anyways, just want to give you guys that little bit of a rant story that, you know, that's about the cops. That, you know, I don't agree with any of it. I think it's all bullshit, but, you know, whatever. If people want to keep sticking up for those losers, then, you know, have at it. I have no respect for my cops, because they don't help out. They come down. I mean, the last time the cop came down, he was going to go talk to the guys with that big razor thing that we obviously seen in our, well, we didn't see it, but we seen in the tracks. And we knew there was only one of those big ass machines around. So, and we knew where that fucker lived, so we went and told the cops that, or the sheriff that, because he was the only one that showed up. He says, oh, well, I'll just go over there and talk to him about it. And I said, well, he's probably just going to most likely fucking lie about it anyway and deny it. You know. And the cop's like, oh, yeah, probably. It's like, oh, that wasn't so bad, you know, but what the hell is this spider doing? He's like making a nest. Stupid. His nest came from way the hell over there. Stupid. Little baby spider, too. Well, he's going to get squashed by my door here in the next couple of minutes, so better haul ass and get out of the way. Well, yeah, so I just don't care for cops anymore. They have very little respect for me. And what's so stupid is that now you're seeing everywhere this fucking license plate thing you can put on your vehicles where it's all blacked out and it's got the blue bar across it. It's supposed to mean something for the law. I don't know what exactly that means. But I ain't putting that on my truck. You know. Even if it was my own law enforcement, I wouldn't bother. Because, well, pretty much, well, I think they deserved it. Because, you know, they ain't doing their job anyway. I don't see it. Where's my justice? Where's my service? I'm paying your damn... I'm giving you my money. How else do you think you get that fucking paycheck at the end of the week, you fat fucking cop? You know, I mean, Jesus. How do you think you can afford your donuts every day? People like me pay for that. But yet, you hardly ever show up. When are you going to show up and put cameras on my property? You haven't done that yet this year. Which, well, the trespassing hasn't happened in like the last maybe 2 months, but I figured it probably would start up again. But it hasn't yet, so. But there's always a first for everything, so. Anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. I do apologize for the super long video, but it's just a rant of mine, and I'm disappointed in it. Cops have no respect for me. I'm not gonna show it to them. You know. And I'm not gonna tell them if I'm driving somewhere, they want to know where I'm going. I'm not gonna tell them. Ain't none of their damn business anyway. Screw them. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.
LOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO